Can I talk about the community? How many children come to this?
90 children.
And their parents, how are they invited in? Are they interested and so on and so on?
Yeah, we're officially registered in 2004, but the idea was to actually provide an orphanage for AIDS orphans. But what happened is that the community, when chatting with the community, they realized that actually, a lot of the children had gone off to distant relatives who didn't know them, and they said, actually, why don't you help us support the children here? Whether we are blood relations or not, it doesn't matter. We actually want to care for the children here. Their schools here, their friends are here, their social support's here. So that's why it was started actually as an aftercare program to just be with the kids to help develop education and all the, there's so many gaps, but to support the families here in RY, support their children. So that was the main idea behind it all. So we have two of our main projects. The biggest one being the aftercare school program. So we have 90 children that come Monday to Friday from grade 1 to grade 6. So about 6 to 12 years old. And they come every day during the week, and they come and do homework. We're in the classroom for about an hour and a half, which is a very short amount of time, but it's that time we have to try and bridge a very, very big education gap. So a lot of them are struggling, everything, English, maths, you name it, there's a huge gap. We've got some grade 3s that can't write their name. So 10 years old, that's a big concern. And then we provide meals as well. For a lot of them, they don't really have much money, if anything. So they come and they have a snack when they arrive, sandwich and some fruit, and then a warm meal before they go at the end of every day. And then we do what we can when we can. So a big part of what we've realized is that obviously they're affected by HIV, some of them infected. We were having a chat earlier that we don't always know the real numbers because there is still stigma attached to it. And so we don't always know, but majority are. Some affected because their parents have died, and so their older siblings are running their home, You've got these little 6-year-olds being cared for by 15, 16, 17-year-olds. And we support the family, so a big part is with the children, but that's developed. So, we're trying to teach English and up the English literacy level, but then we expect them to take a book home and nobody can read with them. So we've done English literacy with the parents, trying to develop them in terms of computer literacy. Then I work at readiness training, food gardens, obviously, we said for some of them who do have jobs or part-time jobs to try and supplement, food in the households, to actually offer a piece of land they can grow themselves. Probably got about 20, if they all come, parents who come and work in the gardens, and that's we offer opportunities, but I think a big part of what we do is just building in terms of relationship and having people take responsibility. A lot of times we tell people what to do, but until they actually own it, nothing happens. So we try and do the best we can here to build ownership. So our community development worker was working with the gardens and the parents here, but she's now got one of the parents themselves who's really passionate about it, and she coordinates and comes up regularly. So they're allowed to come. If the gates are open, they can come and work. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is, what time it is. And then in terms of the gardens itself, we have a caretaker. As you can tell, it's a huge piece of land, so it's hard to do all on his own. But he does a good job. We just need to get a lot of it out. But I think chatted to one lady the other day, one gran, we went and visited her, and she's got a small piece, one of these is a small piece, and she said, she's got lots of time. If she could have a bigger piece, she'd do more. So I think some of the parents really have bought into the idea of this is a viable thing that is worthwhile and is worth putting time and money into. Others don't.
It's a community thing. And then is the working in ownership, do they have ownership, or is it communal, the produce community shared, or
their piece of land is their produce,
and so they put the energy into it, and they expect to be able to get what they can. And does it happen, or do people kind of take other people's stuff?
No, in terms of who the other carers and parents who come here, they don't do it. But obviously, like Pilla was saying, guys come over the wall. So a big part of what we're trying to do with the Department of Public Works is get our proper. We're supposed to get proper concrete palisading, which is even better than the metal, because the metal just gets bent and people pop over. But that's one of the biggest things. They'll pop over just to take photos. We haven't had big issues in terms of security here, but obviously These are free fall if you can pop over that fence, which is very simple. Promised, yeah, the entire area and then between and things.
It'd be nice to get a lot of those people here in the future. I think we might get more inspired and more interactive, you know.
Yeah, well, we did let people know and encourage them to come.
Well.
That's the thing. You're not only
Scavengas instead of jumping over and taking the stuff, come and jump over and help.
Yeah.
Help weed.
that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Yeah. I think we're. I don't know who uses who, to be honest. Yeah.
This is the only one that I can see that's really...
There's a few.
Too busy talking, they're looking.
Yeah.
From that fence to that one.
Yeah. I mean, the opportunities to develop it is, well, that's the thing.
The amount of land
It is, yeah.
Who's the community development group you're working with?
Minty Pato. Yeah. She's here with us.
I've never heard her name. She for the what? Who did she?
She works for iKhaya, so
iKhaya,
she's ours. Yeah.
iKhaya is the main.
iKhaya Themba, Home of Hope. Yeah. Yeah.
And you just get donations for running.
Yeah, we have to fundraise and whatever that looks like. So we are non-profits, whether it's formal funding application, which is more and more difficult to get. There's people who fall in love with us.
just want to get you on camera. Are you happy with what you've seen here today?
It is amazing. I actually can't believe what's happened in such a little space of time. I think when we first got here, we saw the extent of the bush and everything, which thought nothing's going to happen. But as we dug and found, these amazing little nuggets of little gardens that have been here before and uncovering it now. I mean, look at it. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I agree.
So, I can't believe it. And just people coming. I'm just always amazed. I think so often you hear stories about people aren't interested and actually what's the point of starting things in South Africa, but today is a small picture of actually there are people who care, there are people who put in the time and effort, so connecting with them and who knows what can happen. I mean, you've seen people, these kids weren't going to come and they saw something happening, and now we've got two communities working together to see some kind of little bit of change, so who knows what will happen in the future.
That's fantastic.
Awesome.
I'm so happy for you. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you guys. Oh, this is just, we could never have done this for ourselves. Never ever. So thank you to you and to everybody who came out today. It's awesome.
You're welcome.
Thanks.